Hello and welcome to the review on the DigitalFoto DH04 dual grip handlebar for gimbals. So this handlebar was sent to me quite some time ago for the purpose of review. That isn't going to change my opinion. If I don't like the handlebars, I'm going to tell you. I was meant to review them quite a while ago, but I got really busy and I really wanted to put these through their paces, so I've used them on quite a few jobs now. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that I did use them for quite some time, nothing was going to break, and before I gave it a fair review, I thought I needed to use it, quite a bit. So that's why the review's taken me so long to do. And for some of you that may remember, I did make my own handlebars quite a while ago out of some road bike handlebars, and although they were cheap and they worked really well, they don't offer any stabilization. So that's where this comes into play. It does have some nice little springs that stabilize everything, and yeah, it's quite a nice little product. The handlebars are made of ABS plastic, and although some of you may think this is a bad thing, it is actually very solid. It does add a bit of weight to your setup, but it makes it much easier to control, and the difference in the footage you get is pretty big. There are fully adjustable springs in the handlebar that allow you to change whether the tension is hard or soft. This is to adjust for different camera and gimbal weights. It also comes with different size springs for different setups. The springs that come pre-installed are good for loads between 1.3 to 3 kilograms. The small one in the box is good for loads between 2.3 to 4.5 kilograms, and the bigger spring is good for loads between 0.9 to 2.5 kilograms. It also comes with some attachments so that you can mount microphones, monitors, lights, and pretty much anything else you like to the handlebars. Your gimbal is mounted by loosening the 4 Allen key screws and sliding your gimbal into the grip section. Once you have the gimbal set inside the grip, you just tighten up the Allen key screws and you're good to go. I find that this process takes quite a bit of time, and installing and removing the gimbal is a bit of a chore and would be hard to do in a rush. Plus, you also need to remember to take the Allen key with you to remove or refit your gimbal. I think this would have been better with some hand screws or some other type of locking mechanism. On mine, I also found after using it for the day that the grip tape inside the grip section started to slip. No big deal, I just reseated it and it was fine. Alright, so now we've got our gimbal mounted to the DH04, got my camera on there, we're all nice and balanced. Let's go. Most handheld gimbals like the Zhiyun crane are 3-axis gimbals. This means that they only stabilize 3 of the axes. The axes that are stabilized are for panning, rolling, and tilting. The DH04 handlebar technically adds another axis of stabilization to your footage. This is the up and down movement. Although a 3-axis gimbal is usually all you'll ever need, having that 4th axis is extremely helpful for running shots, stair shots, and will pretty much help any of your shots to be more stable and look much better overall. Plus, it also helps to manage the weight of the gimbal as it is spread nicely over the whole handlebar and is much easier to grip than the gimbal on its own. Alright, so now it's time for some test footage. I'm going to have some footage using the handlebars and some footage without the handlebars. All the footage is obviously going to be on the gimbal, but just whether it's with or without the handlebars. So you'll be able to see for yourself if it does help to stabilize that footage even more. I'm going to try and do some footage running, walking, jumping, things like that. I don't really have any stairs here that I can walk up and down to show you that, but I'll do what I can to put it to its limit so that you can see whether the handlebars do help or not. So yeah, let's do it. Let's get into that test footage. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed the test footage using the DigitalFoto DH04. Now I actually really love these handlebars. Like I said at the start of this review, I've been using them on quite a few of my jobs. Before I did the review, I wanted to make sure that I did give these like a thorough running through. And yeah, I really do love them. It does help to give you that extra level of stabilization. It's just helps you to carry that weight as well. So even though this adds weight, when you're holding something like a gimbal from both sides, it does help to distribute the weight nicely over your hands or over your arms, and it does help for those panning shots and things like that. So overall, I'm extremely happy with it. I will continue to use it on video jobs. My only little quirks with this product are the Allen key bolts to secure the gimbal to the handlebar. I think there needs to be an easier way to get your gimbal on and off, because it's a bit of a long process, especially with this gimbal. I do have a quick release mount on the bottom, so I kind of have to slide the bottom in, then the top in. It's a little bit annoying. Plus, if you're out on site and you need to take your gimbal off and you don't have the Allen key, you're in a bit of trouble. So it would be nice to see some kind of, hand screw mechanism or something like that. Another little thing is, it's hard to see, but where you screw the Allen keys in, that plastic that wedges down, if you do them up too tight, you could probably crack the plastic. That hasn't happened to me, but it's something I could probably see happening if you weren't careful, or if you did those up too tight, or maybe over time. So that's something to be careful of. And my only other issue was that rubber grip on the inside of where it holds the gimbal. That did slip on mine. But apart from that, I'm absolutely over the moon with this. The price is about $99 US on Amazon. I will put the link in the description below. And yeah, I do think that's worth it, considering I did make those handlebars myself back in the day, those road bike handlebars. They cost me about $10. They do help because they do distribute the weight over your both arms, but they don't provide any extra stabilization or anything like that. Whereas these give you that extra level of stabilization. And like, there's a lot to these. You've got the springs, they're all adjustable. You have the spare springs that come with it. It comes with all the tools. You can mount your monitor on here. It's just, yeah. So for $99, I do think it's a very fair price. And yeah, although it's plastic, it's very strong. Yeah, just really solid and strong. So in summing up my review, 2 big thumbs up. I would definitely buy this if it wasn't given to me. And yeah, if you do a lot of video work and just need something, you need an extra little level of stabilization and something to hold the gimbal. Like, holding a gimbal like this over time without the handlebars, it does get a bit strenuous when you're doing that for quite a while. But these handlebars definitely alleviate some of that pressure, because you are holding, as I said before, you're distributing that weight across both your arms. And yeah, the springs and everything really help. So yeah, I'm a massive fan of this. Thank you very much to DigitalFoto for sending this out to me. I'm really sorry it took me so long to do the review, but I just wanted to make sure that, well, I had a lot going on, but I also wanted to make sure that I gave it a fair review. And I used it for quite some time before I just threw out a review, and then, something happens a week later, but the review's already out there. So yeah, forgive me for that, but that's the reason why. Hope you enjoyed. If this review helped you, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like, comment, share, all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys soon. Thanks very much for watching.